The New York Jets have a budding superstar, as in a horrible season, there is one bright spot from the recent NFL draft that New York Jets fans can be excited for and watching how his development goes, and we got to break it all down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Jets Digest. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. But getting into the news today from the New York Jets themselves, as the Jets had hoped when they selected tight end Mason Taylor in the second round of April's NFL draft, the 6'5", 251-pound rookie is beginning to carve out a significant role on offense. Last week against Dallas was Taylor's most productive game in his 5 games as a professional. He had a team-high 9 receptions on a team-high 12 targets for 67 yards. All the numbers were the best of his budding career. He also had a 10th catch on a 2-point conversion pass from quarterback Justin Fields. Taylor's numbers have improved as he's gotten more comfortable in the offense and as Fields has gotten more comfortable looking his way. Garrett Wilson remains Fields' go-to guy on the outside, but Taylor brings with him evolving intangibles and promise the rest of the season. So, first round, the New York Jets took Armand Membo. In the second round of the 2025 NFL Draft, they looked to LSU, picking up the talented pass catcher of the Tigers, Mason Taylor. So far for the New York Jets, he has been coming along pretty nicely. We have to remember, when it comes to rookie tight ends in the NFL, I know Tyler Warren looks great this year, Brock Bowers looked awesome last year, and Sam Laporta looked awesome 2 years ago, but usually rookie tight ends take a little while, 2 or 3 years, to come along in the NFL, and Mason Taylor is doing pretty well as far as rookie tight ends go. Before we get into his New York Jets stats, just looking at what he did at LSU, 546 yards as in his true junior season, his third year of college football, marked his highest receiving yards in a single season. Only 2 touchdowns, but 546 yards is pretty good for a college football tight end. We have to remember this guy isn't, Kyle Pitts coming out. Kyle Pitts taken the top of the first round. As far as second round and later tight ends go, this is good production from a young tight end that we're looking for. He was my third-ranked tight end. I know a lot of people's third-ranked tight end coming into this draft class behind Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren. However, I had Warren above Loveland, but however you want to pick those guys were very even. But Mason Taylor was, to me, clearly the third best guy in terms of tight ends coming out as rookies this year, and I'm excited to see what Mason Taylor is going to bring to the table now going forwards with this New York Jets offense. If you recognize the last name, this is the son of Jason Taylor, who is an NFL Hall of Famer, was on the Jets. I don't think he was on the team the last year they were in the playoffs, but the year before that. So in 2009, 2010, we went to back-to-back AFC championship games, and Jason Taylor was on the first of those 2 teams. I don't think he was on the second one of those teams. But, if I'm wrong on that, please do correct me in the comment section below. But why this is so important that our guy here, Mason Taylor, is breaking out is because it's not a secret to anyone that the New York Jets pass catchers need a ton of help. It's pretty much Garrett Wilson, and that's it. If we look at the rest of the wide receiver room, it's Josh Reynolds, Arian Smith, Alan Lazard, Tyler Johnson, and Irvin Charles. And Irvin Charles is really mostly a special teams player, not even a true wide receiver for this offense. So far it's been only Garrett Wilson. I don't have the stats with me right now, but if you look at the amount of the receiving yards put up by our number 2 wide receiver in Josh Reynolds, he's not even at 100 yards yet on the NFL season. Through 5 games, that's not good enough. It's one of the reasons why Justin Fields is struggling to put up consistent numbers, not in garbage time. A lot of Justin Fields' numbers look a lot better than he actually has been playing because he's running up stats in garbage time. But when it's not garbage time, he's not getting, the football isn't moving enough. And mostly it's because the Jets are running the ball a lot. And it's also because there are not enough receiving targets for this team. Not really sure why Darren, Mougey, and Aaron Glenn decided that, we're going to find out how much Justin Fields actually can bring to an offense, but we're not going to give him enough targets and enough talented pass catchers to actually make a difference and be a top quarterback in the league. Really, there is no quarterback that would be able to be a highly successful passer with this array of weapons that we have given Justin Fields, which is a little bit disheartening to see from our new general manager. But if you are thinking the way me and Chris are thinking, we're looking at the moves that they made over the offseason, and we're saying there is no way any right-minded NFL GM actually thinks that these are the movements of a competing NFL team. So we're thinking that, they were trying to do like a soft tank this year and, figure out what the actual team is going to look like in the future, because when a new general manager comes in, the number one thing that they want to do is they want to bring in their own players, and there will be a ton of new players brought into this team, because right now there needs to be accountability for what is going on with this team, the way no one can hang on to the football. As soon as we're in the red zone, it feels like the New York Jets are just as likely to turn the football over than they are to score a touchdown, which is horrible. And there are just too many mistakes being made on defense, too many penalties being committed, and at some point, people have to answer for these mistakes, and it's going to come in the form of off-season or even regular season, during the season, trades and cuts, and there will be new personnel brought in the vision of Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey, although you may argue, which would be a very good argument, that this is already the team that they want. They have a bunch of highly drafted offensive linemen. They have a talented running back room with Breece Hall and Isaiah Davis, also Braylon Allen, but he's now injured. But, I mean, there's just not enough talent on this offense, even with those things. I know Aaron Glenn, the way the Lions put together their football team, they started with the offensive line, so I know Aaron Glenn would want to match that and also come out starting with his offensive line with the New York Jets. Fortunately, that should already be done for him, but I know Chris made a video about Olu Fashanu not quite living up to expectations. Of course, AVT spends more time injured than he actually does on the football field, and we got more stuff to figure out on this offensive line. It's not quite living up to the draft capital that we have invested in that offensive line. Just another one of the reasons why this New York Jets offense is not moving the ball as effectively as it really needs to be. I see a lot of people, I keep bringing up the Buffalo Bills game where we only put up 3 points with our starting offense when it wasn't garbage time. People are saying, but the Bills are one of the best teams in the league. Yeah, but that still doesn't make scoring only 3 points against them okay. Like if they put up 13 points or 17 points and they're like, and we got blown out, 13-35, and people go, that's one of the best teams in football, and we're not, I would say, okay, that's a fine argument. But 30-3 before Tyrod Taylor comes in, that's absolutely unacceptable. I will hear no excuses about that. Aaron Glenn needs to figure out which guys on this roster are going to be with this team for the future and which guys will be being let go. I mean, this team, I looked it up right before this video. I should have taken a screenshot. It's currently committing 8.4 penalties per game, which is 0.3 penalties per game more than they were committing last year with Jeff Ulbrich and Robert Saleh. We said one of the number one things that needed to be fixed was penalties, and the penalties have gotten even worse. I mean, that's like one of the number one things that Aaron Glenn said he was going to fix. That has to get fixed. I mean, at some point, I'm not saying we got to start looking at Aaron Glenn on the hot seat or anything, but I'm just saying the coaching has to be called into question when this team is playing as badly as they are and they're as undisciplined as they are. It's been obvious to me since week 2 that our defensive coordinator, Stephen Wilkes, has to go. I'm hearing more and more people hop on that, ideal, that way of thinking. So I don't expect Stephen Wilkes to make it through the season or come back next year, but just putting a quick bow on Mason Taylor. His, starting with the first couple of weeks getting almost 0 targets, that's completely normal for a rookie tight end like him. He has all the runway in the world in the future, and I'm excited to see what he's going to turn into for this team because we are going to need more pass catchers. I don't care if Mason Taylor turns into Travis Kelce. We still need a wide receiver too. I see a ton of people in the comments saying, what we need is a pass catcher too, not a wide receiver too. But the Kansas City Chiefs had prime Travis Kelce, and they're still out here spending top draft picks on a wide receiver too because they know they need it. Everyone needs a wide receiver too. Makes 0 sense to roll out a football team without one in a league that is getting focused more and more and more on passing the football. But that's what I got for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Hopefully the New York Jets don't go 0-6 against the Denver Broncos this Sunday, but who knows? Go Jets.